So there we go, we are live now. So let's first start with the introduction to this call. And so this is websites meeting, Live 5 websites meeting where we discuss all the UI UX design and websites related items. And so today we'll also be covering those. And in case if you have any agenda item, make sure you write them here in the meeting minutes. I have shared the link in chat. I'll do it once again. And yeah, we start with the following this Late 5 weekly tradition, and that is if you are joining this call for the very first time, so you get to introduce yourself. So if you are newcomer here, so you can introduce. So I see a couple of folks in the participants list. Irvi, is it the first time that you're joining websites call? Would you like to introduce?
Yes. Hey, so my name is Irvi. This is my first community meeting for Measuries. I will just be there and then looking on how you do your stuff in the Measury in general. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome to the call. And would you mind talking about the technology that you use? Your language of interest and.
Oh, mainly I'm using like Golang and then JavaScript. That's it. But this is like my first time of looking at Measuries, and I looked that there's like mentorships for the LFX in the mentorships. So that's why I just want to kind of like get to know the community first, and then see how this will fit like my journey for the mentorship process. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Irvi. And now let's take a look at another newcomer if we have any. So I guess all others are.
Hey, welcome, Irvi. It's so great of you to jump in, and it's also good of you to be very brave to introduce. It's such a hard thing to do to kind of break the ice, but that's great. It's very good of you to be here. There are a couple of other meetings a week that you're most welcome to attend. You might find there's a lot going on, and there's any number of places to get involved. So certainly the languages that you mentioned are both technologies that get used a lot around these parts. And we're going to talk about at least JavaScript today. But there's also a build and release meeting. There's also a lot that happens in terms of community management and just project advocacy and documentation and tweeting. And we need to do a better job of hosting an event or two, actually, to share with users like what the features are, what the new features are. So there's a lot of things to do. And you're in Singapore. Oh, fantastic. So you might be the winner in terms of being, well, at least from my perspective, having the furthest removed time zone, I think. So is it, what time is it for you, by the way, Irvi?
It's 9 p.m.
Okay. Could be much worse. Okay, that's good. Cool. Sorry, Vivek, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose my chance to get to know Irvi.
Okay, so apart from Urvi, I don't think we have any more newcomer, but if in case you want to give your introduction, so always use the chat section. You can write about your favorite technology or your favorite colors also. So with that, let's start with the agenda items. And in the topics, first we have items from layer5.io. So Ritik, would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. I guess I have to rejoin it, else this Zoom will flicker again and again. So I'll just rejoin Vivek and then I'll discuss my item. Till then, like you can go with the other items.
Thank you for sharing, Ritik. Okay, so the next item is from Archit. So do we have Archit on call? He is not here, but I'll just ask Abhijit, can you please share this with him, Archit, so he can join and then discuss his item? So thank you, Abhijit. And next up, we have item from Sandra. So Sandra is with us today.
Yes, I am.
Yep. Would you like to present?
Yeah, sure. Just 2 seconds before I begin, I'd like to attempt to share my screen. So in doing so, I have some audio. Okay, awesome. You can hear me well, right?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. Can 2 seconds while I ask if you can see my screen. All right, can you see my screen now?
Oh, yes, we can, Sandra.
Awesome. So I have the topic where the PR is related to fixing an issue. This is just one of the multiple PRs that was made to update the .github folder with the new workflow and configuration with an automated commenter. So it was a very straightforward issue. There was configuration files that were just meant to be copied and
Sorry to
pasted
interrupt,
into.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Your screen is black for many. Like, can you please, reshare your screen? That will help.
Okay,
it's-
so
It's fine now, I guess.
you can see it.
Yes, I can. I'll just
Okay.
ask.
Yeah,
Like-
I can't, but that might just be me. So I can see Vivek's shared meeting minutes and his mouse moving, but maybe that's just me.
No, that's
Okay, I
Sandra.
stopped.
That's Sandra's.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Sandra. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I guess I could see Sandra's.
Okay, this is me again, sharing. Okay, now it's a bit blank. Can you hear me? Everybody's frozen.
Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
we can-
basically the PR is just related to. So basically the PR is just related to updating the workflow and configuration in multiple repositories. Very straightforward PR, copied and pasted it and just made a slight change, then learned about C names and how Layer 5 and Mercury share a similar C name. But yeah, that's it pretty much.
Also, like, I have shared the Sandra's work link in chat, so you can go and take a look. Any other comments for Sandra, or Sandra, you want to say anything on this one?
No, I think I've said pretty much all there is it was a very, very simple and straightforward issue. Nothing much to it. If you have questions regarding it, feel free.
Yeah, that one quick comment, and that is that well, it didn't Slack has changed part of their I don't know, part of their rules or their behavior about open invitation links. Slack as a platform has never really been very friendly to just having an open-ended link. And so it's always been kind of a pain for communities to, I don't know, just allow people to freely join. There have been various solutions over time for how that's done. And anyway, the one that we're using right now is just to create an open-ended invitation that people can come click on and join. However, it will expire either after 400 people sign up using the link or after 30 days, whichever one comes first. So I put there's a community management calendar, a shared calendar. It's called events for those that are on the do community management. I put a reminder on the calendar and set it to remind every month on like the 9th of the month or so. So hopefully, related to what Sandra is saying, the link for these two Slack URLs expired. And so if you're doing community management here and you don't have a subscription to the events calendar, then we should talk to make sure that you do. And we should probably write down the procedure by which those two C names are updated, because I've been doing it the last couple of times. I think Vivek, you might have done it previously.
Yeah,
so
just previously, yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, we should share that procedure. Yeah. And then Sandra, it was 2 days ago on, I forget the repo, I think it was Meshery packages or Meshery extensions packages. I ended up using the remind label, and it worked because you had just gotten done putting up this new workflow. So thanks for that. It's good.
That's it from me. Feedback, welcome. Comment section, Slack, see you there. Cheers.
Thank you, Sandra. So let me just look for Ritik. So Ritik, like, are you back? Would you like to share now?
Yeah, okay. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So a few minutes ago, like we were talking about some of the new feature that is added about in our playground. So one of the feature is whiteboarding, and another feature is commenting. So for that, we have a page on our layer 5 site. These pages are created by Jay Kumar. So what I did is, like, I have restructured the layout of the page a little bit so that the image is much bigger and the content is more visible. So this is how it looks now. And I also changed a little bit of the content of this page. So this is how it looks now.
Yeah. Is there any, yeah, if you do that action one more time, if you scroll down and that fades away. Okay, good. Yeah, it seems like when it's full screen like that, when it's a very large image, or not full screen, but when it's a very large image, that the effect of it fading away, so to speak, or sort of moving back out of the way, is improved. You know, what is, yeah, I wonder if some of the white space was reduced between the two sections, if people would get more of a sense that it is letting way to see more, or I don't know. It's something for people to try out, though, to see. So the links that Vivek shared, I guess, those are live, so everybody can kind of play with it in their own browser, and see how it feels. Now, the links that are the currently published page, Ritik, the links that Vivek shared, those are, do you want to share the preview link that you have?
Yeah,
Given
sure.
that it had, okay. That way people can play with it locally, because it's just hard to tell through Zoom. But yeah, there might be improvements to that animation that one of you wants to try out. Maybe it should slide up at the same time that it swivels back, whatever that action is, that it hinges back. I don't know. It's something we're trying out something new, so there's probably some fidgeting that needs to happen.
Right.
But so there's another aspect to what you were saying, Ritik, and I think you're both letting people know that there's this forthcoming dedicated page to describing these new functionalities that are very recently available. And then you're also sounds like you're also asking maybe for some feedback on not only that hero section and how it behaves, but if you go to the next section. So these describe three aspects of a user's ability to diagram within the software. So collection of shapes, notes for colleagues, notes, text annotations. Okay. I wonder Victoria, I wonder how we might tie in commenting and with respect, or like related to that. What would be interesting for me to see, at least, Ritik, is like the site diagram of how this page ties in, where it's linked from, and where we expect people to link to. What's the flow through the page?
Okay.
So that's not going to work, right? That's the same answer you gave before. We're not going to have the playground link under products.
And the playground, yeah. Like we will be having a section on our hero page. So from here we will be linking those to whiteboarding and another page. So
okay, so the hero section is what would show here. So it's
yeah,
gonna
home page. Like from here we will be like linking those two pages and other features of the web playground. So
okay, so you're gonna have that hinge effect on the main page.
not the hinge effect, but something other than the hinge effect.
Okay. Say more. It sounds like you're making it up as we go. Is there a diagram of it?
No, like currently we don't have a mock-up.
Okay.
Or maybe
Victoria,
Victoria, if you can. Yeah, Victoria, maybe if you can confirm. Maybe.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, Victoria, I guess you're doing some related work on the new designs for new sections on the homepage. It would be an opportunity. This is a great time to talk about those if those are ready to take a look at.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, Vivek, or I'm sorry, Ritik, you said that there's one page that's brainstorm with comments. Yeah, and Vivek, I have to confirm that the behavior on this page where that hinge effect, it happens too late, certainly on my screen. I mean, people will scroll much faster. They don't, like. So who's working on that, Vivek? Or Ritik, damn it.
Yeah, like currently, like Jay created this page of comments in the whiteboard. So,
Jay, what do you think, Jay?
So what we can do is, so maybe we can, so if you stop right here, so if as soon as we don't start rotating it as soon as we scroll, but when the let's say the nav bar touches the top section of the image, and that's when we start to rotate it, it would look much better, and it would leave a little bit less the white space between the section below. So if you scroll a little bit more down, yeah, a little bit up. Yeah, this is the point where we'll start to rotate. Till here it would be a static image. It won't have any kind of transition or effect.
Anybody else? Well, what do people think?
So if you have any feedback or any comment for these pages and whatever we are discussing right now, you can chime in either through chat or unmuting yourself. So this is your chance. I think no one has any feedback.
There's a link that's shared in the Zoom chat to a different website that has some inspiration around this effect. So it's Chronicle HQ, chroniclehq.com. And it has a similar effect. So you could compare and contrast, see if you like one better versus the next. To spice up the page, Rex. So that it's not just another hero with the image. So we're just looking for something. Doesn't necessarily have to be. It's some things that are more interactive, and you can see on this page like they're when it first loads, it has a few points of interaction. Something that this website does is they change your cursor style, they customize it. So that's pretty cool. I think that that's a wonderful idea. Rex, is your sense that it's too much interaction, that the page is that animations like that are too distracting? Like why?
Well, now that I see on Chronicle HQ, it looks a bit more seamless. So maybe it's maybe some of the other elements on the page could be better put in place. Because if you're looking here, there's more information here than on our side, on the Layer 5 website. There's that aspect. And then there's the fact that the hinge effect here on this page is much more seamless than what we have. Maybe I'm just being too critical, I presume. But
no. Yeah, no, I think or one of the ways that I'm interpreting that is that one of my first comments was that maybe there's too much white space between the bottom of the hero image and where the next bit of information starts. And that would have something to do with density. Now, that doesn't address all of what you're referring to. So I think some of what you're referring to, that helps. Some of what you might be referring to as well is like, well, the other elements on the page aren't necessarily interactive, or they don't necessarily animate or move around. So, unlike this site, and then so that
yes, there's really that, because at the end of the day, once that hinge goes up, most other part of the page has one interaction or the other. But on our end, after the hinge, there's literally nothing else like a follow-up. So it might be a bit jarring or lack a bit of consistency with that transition, maybe. It's definitely worth looking into a bit further.
Yeah. So Jay, like, well, I don't know, following on Rex's suggestion, like if in the next section underneath the hero, if those 3 columns that we have, if they were to float up or come in from the side, or do bounce or something, doesn't have to be, or should be, relatively subtle, but that would, if there's some amount of overlay that happens. So you can see in the left-hand side, there's the 2 cursors inside of the left-hand side column. Yeah, on our site, we can add cursors that come over. We can separate out the cursors. Some of these can be made animated GIFs. So that's a fairly cheap way of getting something in there. So anybody else? Jay, Victoria, Ritik, you guys are all had a helping hand in this. So I think Sandra has feedback.
Yeah, in terms of the cursor and perhaps implementing it in layer 5, that could be an advantage, because I think the cursor on the Chronicle HQ website, if I got that name right, has names within the cursor, which I assume indicates team collaboration. And if we were to have that on layer 5, it will drive forward the notion that teams could collaborate on creating designs within the Meshery playground.
Jay, what do you think? Rhoda, what do you think?
Yeah, we can definitely add that. I was about to add that, but for some reason I'm not able to change the text on Figma. It just pops up missing fonts. I'm not able to add those either. So,
Yeah,
Ritik, if you can just change one of the cursors to you, I can add that.
Actually, I have changed one of the cursors that has the text view.
Okay, then I'll just take that SVG and add that.
Yeah.
Rhoda, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I go with Sandra's suggestion. Having the names next to the cursors give that collaborative feel, like, okay, lots of presence here, just like we have here. Though this particular card feels like there's a lot of elements, so the names are lost in it. You don't really notice at first glance. So we could take that somewhere else where the elements are not so much, just so it stands out as well.
So if I could just add to support a bit, another thing that could work is micro interactions. So there is that floating menu at the bottom of the whiteboard page there. No, that card in the card there. And some of the shapes, at least from the page where I'm seeing it, the shapes are showing like things that came up from those floating menus. So it can just be a case of maybe clicking on which particular icon brought up the modal for the shape, and a bit of interaction inside those cards. That could also add a little something in there, so that it's not just static and we're not just looking at the rest of the screen on its own. So if you notice on Chronicle, it's not like every other thing is an elaborate interaction like that hinge one, but just little interactions here and there, and then it looks like the website is alive or it's moving. While in all honesty, so you notice that 52K, there's a graph that goes up like that and just shows the part of the graph. And if you scroll further, you notice the number on this 5.2 to 4K counting as well. So little interactions like that could actually help out as well.
For the feedback, Rex, Rhoda, and others.
Yeah. Okay, so other item is like I have updated this top panel for the Cloud Media Playground 0.7 delays. So like if the user clicks on the try it, now it takes user to the play.meshtree.io.
Ritik, do you mind sharing this link in chat, the preview link that you have?
Yes.
So you can also go and take a look. The link has been shared in the chat. So if anyone else have any kind of feedback, so we can take that, or we'll just move on to the next item. So thank you, Ritik. I'll be sharing my screen again. And next update is from Victoria about redesign of Clarify.io homepage. So Victoria, would you like to share this?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the design that I came up with for the redesign of the layer5.io website. I saw the one that Ritik shared some moments back, and I think the hero page looks better. But let me just talk about the new things that I added in this new design. There's the what we offer page. I know Lee mentioned Code C as an inspiration, so I used that as the basis for this new page. So we have this section at infrastructure visibility. So what I did was highlight the problem that our target users are most likely to face with their collaborative infrastructure. And how Mesh3 solves that problem. How there are 5 about.
All right.
Okay,
So
so
somebody else should share that, or we should. Good. Yeah. Victoria, we lost you. So it does look like you have something that's reminiscent of the Doxy theme, which so I get that you're going for what do you call it, transitions between sections. So that's nice, so that they flow. Although, yeah, maybe I don't know. To try again, or I don't know. The Doxy theme's not so great. And the hero is graphicless, which is probably the only page where we would have something like that. I don't know that people are probably too lazy to read much of that. I don't know. So this page is for what area?
for homepage.
Yeah.
For the homepage?
Yeah. For layer 5. All the sections are not complete, so that's why you're seeing some empty spaces here.
Oh, got you. Okay. Yeah.
But I just want to confirm that the content is what you were emphasizing on, because you wanted the homepage to talk about problems that layer 5 is solving for the users.
Right. If you scroll up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Like the first one does, you know, and yeah, I mean, I'll have to give some comments in the design. Yeah.
So the design's link in chat. All right. So Victor, there's another thing from you, Mr.readme.md. So I'll just try opening it. So maybe we can take a look at that later once I'm, or you can share, Victoria.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, this is visual design for the Mesh3 profile page on GitHub. I already worked on the README file. And so this is like a replication of what we have on GitHub. I think I linked the PR to the document so you can see. So you can see what the README on GitHub looks like.
Cool. Remind everybody which page is this? This is for the Meshry.io site. This is for the homepage itself. We'll have to do something about that bandwidth. I'm assuming Victoria is not with us, so we'll have to move on.
Okay. I'll share my screen again.
Does anyone know what that page is for? That design is
Yeah.
for?
Yeah,
I
for
guess it's for,
readme.md.
yeah, for overall project level readme file.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think we're trying to make it a web page with a menu system up top. So that doesn't.
Okay, so we can talk about that in Slack channels. So, okay, so the next item is this one. I'll open the preview link. Previously, these images in this navigator, they were being their aspect ratio were not being maintained. So I just added these this property, object fit content, and so this way the size is maintained. The size is reduced that it fits the box while maintaining its aspect ratio, and this is true for all of the integrations that we have. So this is what it looks like. I'll share the link in chat. And if you can take a look at some of the other ones who had their integrations updated. So yep, this one.
Great, perfect. What's next? Are we going to cover the crash on Meshry.io? That seems really important.
Yeah, so let's cover that. So this is an issue. I'll share this link in chat. And so this was about Meshry.io/catalog crashing on iOS devices if you open it in Safari or Chrome. So investigating why it was happening, I found that it was due to all the 60 integrations that we have. Whatever is the pattern that you see on the Meshry.io/catalog, I'll just open.
Yeah, is it fixed?
Yeah, through
Go on.
Yeah, so these all patterns that you see around 60s are there. So due to all of them loading at once, it was crashing. And so Gaganpreet has a PR up. I'll share this again in chat. So what it does is okay, so I also would request all of you who have an iOS device to test it on your phone. Copy link address and yeah, there it goes in chat. So C has while HTML is loading, so C has just told CSS to not load them up. Like this, C is setting the display property to none, and then at the runtime C is manipulating it with JavaScript. So that's what C is doing. So if you can take a look at the deploy preview that I've shared in chat in your iOS phone, so that will really help. And it will need some review, and after that it will be good to go.
So you're saying that the browser is crashing because we're trying to load too many large images?
Not too large images, but it has something to do with infinite scroll on Safari because there were some similar issues that were being reported. So they had this probable fix that do not load all of them at once. It's not clear about whether it is about large image size or if it's too many HTML nodes, but just that setting display none at the start time, it fixes it. So I tried to limit the number of patterns that are loading, and that did fix it. So then Gaganpreet tried implementing that, and it really works.
And it's not just the Safari, the Chrome crashes as well.
Yeah, yes.
So, and Chrome was having the same issue? You saw bug reports about that or no?
Yes. Chrome also had the Chrome and Safari on the iOS devices, it was occurring there too. So folks were suggesting pagination and other things, but I don't think we want that to have as a solution. So what C has done, I mean, so what Gaganpreet has done is like when the HTML is loading for the first time, it won't load the pattern cards. Only when the site builds, it will through JavaScript put them all. I mean, it will set their visibility to again block, and then there are two buttons. So if you are for the first time on the page, so no previous button, you can click on next button and then see all the cards, and this way you can navigate to previous and next, and it
So you're
just limits the.
You're changing it from infinite scroll to be paginated?
It's not really paginated, because in pagination there is something like going to another page or that like something, but here the button triggers it. These are just simple advent listeners that does the job.
So it's worse than pagination. You don't have a page number to go to. You just scroll until you find one. You click until you find one.
Okay, so yeah, that's why like this work is right now in draft, and this was the initial presentation that I wanted to give, and yeah, definitely it needs more work.
Why can't you get infinite scroll to work?
Infinite scroll had some of the problems, like I mean, whatever you do, if the first time the page is loading on iOS devices, if you are loading all of them together, so it will crash no matter what you do. And JavaScript cannot help in this regard. Like if we don't set it up to display none, I mean, when it's loading. Also, like if we try, infinite scroll, and we try this, that whatever it is not in viewport, we set that to none. So that is also something not feasible. I tried that too. So there is this browser observer API, something like that. So, but that again will not be very much, feasible, because as we move ahead, so there will be more and more number of pattern cards in the future. What is also a potential solution, and that is converting all of the HTML template, Liquid template into JavaScript. But that would need an entire rewrite.
Where does that how does the two come together? What does Jekyll have to do with infinite scroll on iOS devices? And how are you saying you can't control whether or not something is being displayed? Like there's a browser API, but that doesn't work because you can't control whether or not something is null off screen. That doesn't seem right. That seems inaccurate.
I mean, whatever HTML functionality we write for, controlling these pattern cards, that is only done after all the pattern cards are loaded. Because the template that we have that loads all of them whenever you load the page, but the JavaScript that only gets to work after all of it has been loaded. So again, it crashes.
Then load up the JavaScript beforehand if that's what's needed.
But that's not working. We tried doing that, but it didn't work.
Okay, well then that's not the problem.
JavaScript code is not the culprit here, I think, because if problem lies when we display that content, not when we load that content. So like if you disable like this displaying of these images, but still content will load and it will consume the same amount of memory and whatever it takes to load. So it will not crash in that case. So I was trying some alter approaches like putting all that code in JavaScript and passing all the properties in that script. But there were two imports, that car.html and model.html. So I was not able to find a solution for that because Jekyll somewhere it messes up. It does not display those HTMLs in it does not reads the content after that car.html.
Yeah, so something that I was suggesting, I mean, that could be a solution, that rewriting all the liquid templating language into JavaScript, then we will have much more control over how we display and what we do. But that would really not be feasible, because some logic in the template that really is hard to implement in JavaScript. I mean, the way it's written. But yeah, infinite scroll, it just didn't work like in the iOS devices.
I was trying to find some libraries which can do this work like load an HTML file into this page. But there was only one solution given by W3 School something. I don't know if that is a good approach or not. So I need a suggestion on that. We can try that.
Have you set it up locally? I mean, if we can share, so that will be really helpful.
I've put the link to my PR in this meeting minutes. So this second last item, yeah. So if you check the code, can you check the
Okay.
code?
Just
No,
before
this
that,
is
before
the-
that, I will quickly share this link in chat. Just a second.
No, I have disabled loading of images here. Like it was not getting loaded properly if you see the file. So can I just scroll down a bit. I'll just a minute, just try to find a line number here in index.html. Just scroll down a bit in HTML. Scroll. At the end, you can find that card.html. See line number 79. So approach goes
79.
somewhere like implementing it like this. But still, it is not working. Like I need more suggestions. Like how if somebody has better approach than this.
I mean, Akshat, like with whatever we have right now, the only solution is that as the page is loading, we set the patterns visibility to none, and that way only it won't crash. I mean, that's something that I figured out. So see, Gaganpreet has done exactly that.
Mhm.
So when the page is loading, she's just telling the CSS that do not load. I mean, hide all the set the display property to none for all the pattern card, and it just miraculously works for iOS devices in the other issues that were reported. So if you see, she is putting display none in all the patterns as it is loading, and then only she is making it visible after the everything has been loaded. I mean, while pattern is hidden.
So like right now we are like 60 cards in total, right?
Around 62, yep.
Yeah. So what we can do is like load 10 cards and include a view all button there. Then load 10 more cards and then again.
Yeah,
10
that is something that we can do. And yeah, this is also, I mean, whatever you're saying is also approach, but C is also doing the same. I mean, previous and next. So 10 cards at a time on all the screens. So something like view 10 more, or I'll just ask Lee's feedback on this. Like,
I want to thank you guys for working on it. I don't think my feedback's going to be more. I don't have. I think we're all learning here. Thanks for So keep pushing, keep going. If you found something that keeps it from crashing, that's probably something that we should use. So
also, like anyone of the call would like to take a look. So I've shared the issue link in chat. And so next item that we have is from Jay. So Jay, like, would you want to share this a testimonial on the product space?
Yeah, if you could just open it up. There's one margin issue. If you can scroll down, and I'm not sure how, like, there was some feedback from Lee and how this UI should look like, a split section with a book demo again.
Talking about this page.
Okay. Yeah, so is that like the above design? Is that something that we want, or this?
Jay, you should probably share. It's easier to
Yeah.
understand.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is no. Yeah. Okay, so this split section for book demo on the left and single quote on the right. What kind of UI are we talking about?
If you navigate to it, I'll just tell you. Yep. So not this social section, but the one right above. Yep. Vertically split. Go right there. 2 columns, not visible columns, but two sections, one on the right, one on the left, one for booking a demo, the other one as social proof. So then you'd remove the social proof below. That was what I was describing.
So then, okay, we remove this carousel, and would the reviews still have this carousel effect on the?
Don't use it. Yep. I don't use it. I gave an example of where it's not being used in other places. Just a single piece of social proof.
Okay. I mean, something like this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we still have a carousel here. Okay, I'll add something like this. All right.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, just make it column. Change it to a column instead.
Okay. And also, I saw this here for the design embed. What kind of code do I have to add here? I'm not
React.
confused. What I mean is, what is this?
Yeah, it's a holding spot for a small package that you would write that supports the embedding, like that more natively supports React sites, as opposed to taking and copying a few lines of HTML. People can import a package called Meshry Design Embeds or something, Meshry Designs. And they import the package and include the component on a page on a React-based site. And then it displays the embedded design.
Okay.
Say more though, because ask more questions. I mean,
how? Like I think I saw Abid's comment on how you said that there was a combination of some things that made the design embed to display, and that you don't have a copy of that prototype. So what are those combinations of?
Yeah, it has things to do with server-side rendering, SSR, in Gatsby. Gatsby also has a scripts. I don't know if it's a scripts component or scripts library or scripts package. I forget.
Scripts component, I guess.
Okay. Like there are a couple of different ways of getting of including the script that will embed a design in Gatsby specifically, that can be played with. So there's a couple of configurations inside of, I think it's Gatsby Node. Is that right? Like just the site configuration itself, in terms of when scripts load and when they execute.
Mm-hmm.
It was playing with some settings and between those things, like well. Look, maybe this isn't the best assignment for you, because it sounds like you're not. Have you created and published a package before?
No.
Okay, and so maybe it's a good assignment, but one that we should partner you up with someone on. I think both because that's fresh, and then also because it's been something of a challenge to display to get the design embedding working on Gatsby. Have you gotten it working before?
No, I've tried post, hydrate, and all those options in the script, but I was not able to get it working.
Okay. Yeah, it does. But since you haven't gotten it there just yet, it makes sense. Let's get you partnered up. Let's get you some more support. Maybe an example of what it would look like to have a package published as well. So you get a sense of what that end goal is. But when you go to import some NPM package and include it on a React page, that's what we're hoping for people to be able to do.
Yeah.
And so there'll be some amount of continuous integration, like NPM packaging that other people can do. But yeah, the part to focus on, it sounds like, is the part that is another part that you're stuck on, and that is the actual embed, the actual display of it. So that's okay. I'm glad you brought up this topic. Let's get you some collaboration going on. Let's get a couple. We'll pull up. I did find the prototype that we had done, but we done a bunch of versions, and the version I had was one of the last ones that wouldn't have made it wouldn't have been helpful to you. So yeah. So I mean, I don't remember. If I remember the specifics of it, I'd tell you, other than what I just said. But it's not. I think once you see it, you'll be frustrated that it wasn't as hard as you think it might be.
Okay.
Which is nice, which is a positive thing, but it's not. Anyway, for everyone else, just for context for everyone else, what we're referring to is, Jay, do you have an example of what we're referring to maybe inside the layer 5 docs? So people who create designs inside of Meshery, and they work on the visualization of what that design looks like. You don't have to be running MeshMap to be able to look at it or even interact with it. You can export your designs as a screenshot, okay, but it's not interactive. And what we're talking about here with Jay is the ability to export those designs and embed them in a different website of your choice and have those designs be interactive. And so on the public-facing docs.layer5.io, like that website itself. So Jay, if you were to go to docs.layer5.io, if you were to go to MeshMap as the section, or the docs, yeah, MeshMap, there's I think it's under Exploring Designer, maybe. Export designs. This page itself, about most of the way down on the page, toward the bottom of the page. Right here, this is an example of what it would be to have a MeshMap design, a Meshery design embedded in a page. Users can come by and interact with it and move things around. They don't have, I'm not sure, they have like 1/4 of the functionality or something here, if that. But they can explore it much better than they could just a static screenshot. So part of this is about, like, some of the use cases for giving people the ability to embed a design like this is like living documentation. So as things change over time, that they wouldn't necessarily have to come back to update their docs, that the docs update based on changes that are made to designs, but also in a similar fashion, for people who are using Visualizer and who are actively monitoring their infrastructure, and they're using it as like a NOC dashboard, like a Network Operations Center dashboard, to look at the health and the uptime of their systems, using this same approach to embedding, that this could be a Visualizer page as well. So whether it's a design or something that some of you have been hearing people talk about a view, there's a new feature called views coming out. They're very similar to designs. Designs are static in nature. People are focused on configuration of the infrastructure. And views are dynamic in nature. People are focused on the operations of the infrastructure. So that same technique, Jay, about embedding and the potential creation of a React-centric package that makes it easy for people to embed either right now designs or in the very near future views. So good. I hope this gives context for everybody as to what the goal is. Right now, if you can go create a design and go get the embed code and go embed your design anywhere that you'd like. The embed code is a couple of HTML lines of HTML, and depending upon what type of website you're running, that can be super easy to expose, or a little more involved with something like Gatsby. Of course, there's like 4 different ways to do it in Gatsby. And so anyway, we want to help make it easy for people. That's why we would want to create a package. Jade, is that about bringing it all together? Is that?
Yep.
I know that's okay. I know you're still you're still looking. We'll bring some of that collaboration so that you can get past a couple of those hurdles. But good, you've got your mind wrapped around it though. So.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
That
go
was
ahead.
all from that was all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jay and Lee. So I'll share my screen again, and we are 6 minutes over the time. So this is now the time for us to say bye on this call. But I would like to talk about the community calendar. I'll share this link in chat. And so we have a couple of meetings, weekly and bi-weekly meetings. So on Wednesday, we have Ministry 11 meeting. And if you want to join, you can subscribe to the community calendar using the link in the chat. So till then, bye everyone. We'll see you next Monday if you join.
Thank you.
See you guys.